Hello, hello, everyone. All fingers crossed. First, hello, I'm AmyR. Welcome to Face, card making space, garage, super, super cold. I guess we got close to minus 50 with the wind chill, and yes, that's minus 50, 50, minus 50 Celsius. Basically, once you hit minus 40, it's the same in Fahrenheit and Celsius, and then once you get to minus 50, it's like minus 5 million. I don't even, who knows? It's cold, whatever. Yeah, the unpaid intern's in the corner, wrapped in a heated blankie, literally. I got space heaters, garage heaters, all the things, and then let's just hope that, yeah, I'm working behind the scenes on, for those that aren't aware, my face camera has been just temperamental as all heck since I started doing live streams, and yeah, I'm doing some troubleshooting. So anyway, live, unfiltered, uncut, chaotic, flying by the seat of my pants. I do have plans. I was prepping. We'll get to it in a second. What else? Oh, the other housekeeping. Links. I have provided a supply list. I always do. It's always linked in the description box below all my videos, lives, everywhere, all the things. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and then end up ordering something, I get a little percentage of that, just a little smidge. Does not cost you, the customer, anything. That is the brand, the business pays for that. And that's what adds up over the month and helps keep these heaters running. So yeah, hello to everybody. And everything seems to be working. Everything seems to be good. I think, oh, I remember one thing I forgot to put the giveaway, card giveaway in the description box. Yeah. I knew there was something. Give me 1 second. Woo, I'm hitting my, okay. Give me a second. I knew there was something. It was driving me nuts. So let me put that in there. So yeah, during the lives, near the end of the live, he picks a winner from the form that I'm posting right now. Just give me a second. And then I will mail them out. Again, disclaimer, those, I'm not mailing out cards until most likely the end of January because of, hey, go back. Where'd you go? Where's my link? Shorten, copy. Because of there we go. Save. It'll pop up in a minute or two for those watching live, or you can refresh, but just, it takes a couple minutes and then it'll grab it and do its thing. I'm not mailing anything out till end-ish of January. They're getting caught up. I did a video last night. It went live. I just got the January card kit from Simon Says Stamp, which I should have had like early December. So we're getting there, you know? So I'm not heading to the post office to like mail a bunch of stuff until they're like more caught up. So that's all the housekeeping. Yeah, that's all the housekeeping. Hello to everybody. Hello, Mari. Hello, everyone. And yeah, it's cold. Everything's meh. And I have an absolute disaster going on here. But let's, I'll show you guys. Well, it's not going to look as much as disaster. I was cleaning it up right before I went live. Okay. There we go. Oh, the other thing I got to make sure, put phone on Do Not Disturb, because not like anyone ever really wants to talk to me, but it's like that typical thing. Once you go live, everyone's starts to text and whatnot. Okay, so what am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. What am I doing? Someone remind me. Watercolor paper. Starting with and I linked to several types in the supplies. With what I'm doing today, I don't think it matters what kind of watercolor paper you use. Because it's only when you're going after like certain techniques, like actual watercolor, no line, those sorts of things. Your paper is one of the most important things when you're doing stuff like that. But for this, it don't matter at all. Because we're just going to slap some color on and then we're going to die cut it. That's the plan. So I grabbed this is just literal cheap crap watercolor paper. And then I linked to several that I've used before, like the Canson XL. That's my go-to. You guys have seen me use it a million times. The Strathmore, good stuff. Distress watercolor paper, good stuff. And then I found there was Spellbinders has watercolor paper that's not their better press watercolor paper is pricey, good stuff. I would not use that for this. You can, you know, you want to be bougie, do it. But they're just basic watercolor paper. I was like, oh, that's a decent price, you know, for what you get. Because you just need just basic. And I cut down a bunch of panels. And I'm using the Bibi Cameron Intense Liquid Colors. I posted links also in the description box below to the previous videos I've done using these because they're fun. And do you need to use these specific ones? No. You can use other liquid colors. You can do this. You can, caveat, you can technically do this with reinkers. However, if you're using reinkers like Distress ink reinkers and other stamp ink reinkers, the difference between these, like liquid watercolors and reinkers, is reinkers have additives in them because they're meant to reink an ink pad, you know, so there's glycerin in them and different things to prevent your ink pads from drying out. So that's where the caveat lands, because you can do this with reinkers. You just gotta temper your expectations a little bit and be aware that if you went in like solid reinker, it might never fully dry. But you can do this with reinkers. Just make sure you're adding some water to it and then touch and go. You know, test it out, see what works. So anyway, I'm using Bibi's Intense Liquid Colors. Most of them are in stock except for the one set, so I chose not to use that today, the Brights set, which is fabulous. But I'm using I had it here, the Bohemian Regals. And I'll show the other panels. I'm only going to do 2 on the live because before we went live, I did the other panels just to save us time. This is so simple. And then I got a hardboard. These I also recommend having a couple. They come in handy. They're cheap. They're like a few bucks. I've had this for years. It's stained. I don't care. These are nice for things like this, but also if you're doing like backgrounds, you know, you're stenciling things, all things, you need things to dry. I throw them on top of the hardboard and then set the hardboard behind me on a shelf, wherever, you know. They're great. I have multiples of these little dudes. They come in all sorts of sizes, but this is the, I think, 9x12. And then the other thing we need, and I don't know where mine crawled off to. Where did it go? Is, oh, tape. Okay. Airworks. Yeah, like they will dry if you've added water with it. If you do this with a reinker and you've got water, it will dry. But if you go in just solid reinker, you know, and you paint watercolor paper with it, it'll dry-ish. Like you'll find that you can, depending on how intense you try to make that color, that you could like go like this after it's dry and the color's still coming off and transferring to everything. And that's because of the additives. So it works. It works. Like Distress ink reinkers will work, but they've got like reinkers for stamp pads have additives in them because they're meant to go in your stamp pad and so that your stamp pad doesn't dry out in a week, you know? So that's the difference between reinkers and liquid watercolors, because liquid watercolors aren't meant to reink your stamp pads. I'm just using little pieces of tape for this. You don't need to like tape it down. If I'm doing certain techniques, things, you know, I'll tape all sides, really hold it down. But again, we're going to die cut this. I don't need to be precious with it. Like I legit don't care. So little pieces of tape just to hold these panels in place. And now I got these 2 colors. Okay, because I did all the other colors in this Bohemian Regal set, and then I have Bluegrass and Purple Rain. I like that name. And then some, and a cheap brush. You can use whatever brush you want, but I linked to the Ranger brushes, the packet, because again, if you don't haven't dabbled in watercolor and things like this, etc., just get yourself, like, that little Ranger set is like $6 or $7. It's dirt cheap. And you get this brush and a whole bunch of other little brushes. I've had my set for years. They're great. They're great little brushes. Like, just, again, temper your expectations. These aren't like, you get what you pay for. But All you need is a brush to apply. The rest doesn't matter. So we got that. And then was there anything else I was going to mention? Oh, the other reason I'm doing this. If you don't have a lot of like colored cardstock, this is a nice way. Like get some cheap watercolor paper, get some liquid watercolors, and you can make tons and tons and tons of panels in colors, these colors, and then you can start mixing the colors together and start doing your own custom colors. And that way you'll have tons to die cut, use as backgrounds, stencil over them, etc. So this is also a nice way to get around that because not all card makers are as crazy as I am and have like literal 10 feet worth. No, it's more like 6 feet worth of cardstock. I'm not kidding either. I've been doing this for 20 years, and when I had to move into the garage and we moved all my cardstock and I like piled it all up. I think by now, if I piled it all up, it'd be taller than I am. I do this as a job. So anyway, wet cardstock. And then, and you don't have to wet it first, but it does make it easier. It makes things move faster. And then I'm just pouring it right on. So there we go. So that one, this is bluegrass, which is just like the prettiest color. And we're just slapping it on. This, anybody can do this. It's simple, super easy. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Well, it kind of looks minty on camera, but it's not. It's deeper than that. Although if you water it down more, it would go, yes, to like a more minty, lighter green. It's also one of the benefits is you can do like paler panels. You can let this dry, which I might do. Dry this and then add another layer just to get it even deeper. In fact, yeah, that's what we'll do. So then we just gotta clean her off. Crazy card makers are us. Yes. Welcome. Welcome to the chaos.
That'd be an interesting store.
Oh, I will never open a store ever. Not an online store, not a real store. Customer service is not my forte, like at all. But yeah, Crazy Card Makers R Us would be a fun store. I think it would have snacks. And all the, it would be the size of an IKEA. That's another reason why I wouldn't open a store because there's nothing that would have enough square footage because I would want to carry everything. Wow. Okay. So then, and yes, you could totally do ombre, all the things. There's so many options and you can just have fun with it. I'm just using the colors as is, like just straight color, just cause. In the other videos I've done that I linked to, the one that I did with the Altenew flower basket, I used all the greens and I just did one huge panel and I like mixed the greens and added all splatter and all the things. And that was fun. That was fun. And then I did one just watercoloring, like a heat embossed image with these. And then I used these in a live 2 weeks ago. It wasn't the last live. I think it was the Sunday live before this. Although I've done bonus lives since then. But again, they're linked in the description box. Okay, so this one's Purple Rain, which is really pretty. That's it. Simple. Like, simple. So we got that. And then I want to just clean up my brush. There we go. So we're going to just speed up. You can let it air dry, but we're live. So I'm not going to sit here and like, let's watch paint dry. Welcome. Don't you feel like so excited and invigorated? I'm so entertaining. Like, just like sit and watch this dry. Dry enough. It's not fully dry. I don't care. Because, again, we're just going to paint a couple layers just to make everything a little more intense. So, and because these are liquid watercolors and they are water reactive, this is immediately reactivating, which you could do some really fun techniques with this. Like, if you painted a background with this and then, without getting it wet, put a stencil over it and then rub the stencil over the stencil with like a baby wipe. you'd get a really cool look. There's another idea for these. But yeah, I'm just going to deepen up this color a bit. Just because I can. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Because again, we're going to die cut it. And then there will be splatter, of course. Like, who are we kidding? So, there we go. There we go. If you talk while we watch it dry, it will certainly be entertaining. Like, I know I can talk everybody's ear off. But, yeah. Collecting slowly my Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. Oh, yeah, those are fun. I like my watercolor pencils from Tim. Those are... I haven't used them in a while. I need to use them again. And I definitely need to use about that idea I gave everyone and gave myself. I need to do a background with these and then do the stencil over it. I'm inspired. Anyway, let's add a bit more. Doop. This purple is pretty. There we go. Every brand title. Yeah. I don't think it matters. It's up to the store or the brand and what they want to call people. Like, it's always, or not. It's always. It's generally just been design team members, but some people will call them brand ambassadors. Some people will. I don't know. I think it's whatever you are in your heart. Yeah. I'm in a weird mood today. Yeah, they're basically the same thing, you know. Yeah. If someone said they're a design team member or a brand ambassador, I would just like, cool. It's like basically you're just creating with that brand. You're repping that brand. Okay, we got our little layers. Doodly doo. And then we're just gonna speed up the drying again. And I'm gonna put the lids on these. I mentioned this the last time I used these in my live. I keep them stored upright. I would not in a million years recommend storing these on their sides because they're liquid and they're very intense. And all it would take is one leak. And no, you don't want that. These are really pretty. And then, where's my, I need him. Oh, don't fall over. Don't fall over. No. Ah. Okay. Fell over. Shush. You. I'm gonna get these off the board and then get them dry because they're not dry. They still, if they feel cool to the touch, they're not dry. Just an FYI there. Oh, and those panels I don't need. I'm not doing any more right now. Put those over there. Okay, let's remove these. I was just curious, heard both terms. Oh yeah, it's, yeah, brand ambassadors, design team members. It's same thing as far as I'm, yeah. Like, in technical terms, technically, like, behind the scenes, so not to the public, to the actual brand and the people, there could be differences. Like, the brand ambassadors do XYZ, design team members do but really, in the end, it's all the same. So, okay. Anywho, let's get these dry. There's metallics. I have them linked. I showed them in the first video I did using them. I mixed one of the metallics and painted with it. And then in That one or the live or both, I don't remember. I splattered with them, and that's what we're gonna do today. But yeah, you can paint with them, and you can mix the metallics with the colors, and that's what I showed. In fact, I used this set, this Bohemian Regals, in the first video I linked to that I painted with, and I mixed like this one, the purple with the gold. It's pretty. It's very pretty. Good enough. Okay, now these are obviously ridiculous. Again, not the end of the world, but there we go. Is there a way to keep paper from curling that much? Oh yes. If you tape it all, like all four sides, like I was talking about at the beginning, if you tape all four sides and then just let it fully dry, that will keep it flat. But I don't care because I'm actually going to show you how to flatten it anyway. Which, if you have time and patience, you could just pile this up under some like books. That's where a stack of books comes in handy. If you've got the old encyclopedia set that you've never been able to get rid of, because who the heck wants encyclopedias from 1993? Yes. Those were, Chris would love that. Those were great to weigh things down. But a quick fix is to use something like a Mink. I linked to the Gina K Fuse because I don't think Simon Says Stamp even carries the Mink anymore. Same thing, a laminator. Something with a heat setting works great. So I'm just turning mine on. And the heat and the pressure from the rollers is going to flatten these right out, save us all the effort. Let me zoom out a little bit.
That machine sounds exactly like the rice cooker.
Like the rice cooker, yeah.
Are we going to run up and open the rice cooker?
Oh, the rice cooker. Pablo's dog response. Yes. And Chris is like, rice? Where's the rice? Where's the rice? The thing to remember with using something like this is you do not want to use this if, say, I had heat embossed an image or a sentiment or whatever onto this. Do not run it through here because the heat will remelt the embossing powder and then it'll just be a nice smeared mess, which will probably also wreck your carrier sheet. Not good. So you want to avoid anything with anything that can melt. Heat, specifically heat emboss stuff. But stuff like this, this has got more of a workout. I just use it to flatten things, and I've talked about that in other videos. I use old dictionaries to raise up my PC screens. Honestly, and to some of you, this is like shocking, but like I have a lot of product. You know, I've been doing this again for decades, and I've had a lot of stuff sent to me. And at one point, I was literally using red rubber on cling foam background stamps. Ones that have been retired and just whatever. And I had like a stack of them. That's what in fact, actually, no, I'm lying. I use that right now. My screens on the computer that the unpaid intern's moderating from. Yeah, the screens are raised up with background stamps. Because it was like perfect. Because each one's like not quite a quarter of an inch. So I was like, oh, 3 work. Yeah. Anyway, you know, because I got multiples. So, okay. So heat it up. I just stick it in a carrier sheet. So right now it is this, just a absolute mess. And then we just want to feed in there. Why are you being stupid? It's probably because it's that curved. Stop it. Get in there. Get in your home. You never want to force it. There we go. Yeah, you never want to force it because otherwise it could end up being like a curled up mess. Yeah, Barb already answered that, but Janie, I assume, the Anna Griffin just the magnetic max that you can get directly from her website. Yeah. People should email Simon Says Stamp though. Email them and request that they carry just the magnetic mats as well. That would be awesome. That would, because for you guys in the States, it's probably fine. Like the shipping is free or cheap or something, but to ship those things up to Canada, and I need to email them too and be like, hey, can you guys carry these? So anyway, one pass. flat enough. You could do it a second time, but I only needed that to run through. And we'll just keep repeating the process. I'm in Canada. I can only, oh, Janie, yeah, no, I was able to order them. But you will pay a fortune in shipping.
Yep.
I ordered a pack, like 3 or 4, because I was like, oh, might as well make it worth it, of the Anna Griffin magnetic plates, because I cut mine is, there's my magnetic, like, I need to replace it. The shipping was, I think, just as much as the order. It was, but I'm used to that. It's painful. But yeah, I would email Simon Says Stamp customer service, because they always like pay attention to what people want and request, etc. And just email them and say, hey, do you think you'd be able to get them in? This would be awesome, because their shipping to Canada is lovely. That's why I've been ordering for them for way longer than I've been working with them. Okay. Raises a good question. Anyone know of someone who teaches card making, like in a library, school, would accept these items? Contact them. If you've got, extra supplies that you just want to get rid of, that you want to donate, contact your local library, contact your local like preschool, daycare center. I did that years ago. I donated like Rubbermaid tubs full, because I used to have all those Michael's, the dollar wood mounted stamps from like 20 years ago. I had an entire tub full of them, and I donated them to my kids' daycare, along with like little, kid safe ink and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, they had a blast with that stuff. So yeah, there's generally places that will accept it, and depending on the area, like I know here there's a group now, like for teenagers, to give them something to do, and they were requesting art supplies. I still need to get in contact with them and be like, hey, you want some art supplies? I'll give you some art supplies, man. So stuff like that too is really good. Yeah, Girl Scouts. There's another one. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, craft supplies. There's tons of places. People, old folks' homes, because a lot of those will do like craft nights, things like that. There's plenty of places you can contact. I got splotches on that. Whoops. And doesn't matter. We're die cutting it. Anyway, all these panels, I'm just doing this while I'm yapping at you guys. I'll show which each color was, but these are the ones I did right before we went live, and might as well flatten them while everything's on and sitting here and have it. Women's shelters, possibly. You would need to reach out to them and ask, because some that it might work. That would be a great stress reliever, but that one I would definitely reach out to them and ask first. Any place I would reach out and ask first. Don't just show up with like bins of product or whatever, because that could cause extra work for people that are organizations that don't have the time or space. But yes, that's another one, to reach out and ask. And especially when it comes to like women's shelters, it is worth reaching out and asking what they specifically need, because you could do up little like gift bags, because a lot of it's more, usually they need things more like clothing, beauty products, sanitary products, etc., etc. But yeah, if they've got the space for and the interest for like art supplies, that would be really cool. Yeah, there's a lot. Check the chat. There's a bunch of you posting good ideas for places. I like it. Yeah, assisted living homes. Yes, there's so many good ones. Yeah. Yeah. Just search your area, and wherever you are, go on like your local message boards and post that question. Because there could be groups and I'm sure there's got to be groups and organizations in so many different areas and different needs and yada yada. So yeah, go on your local message board and be like, hey, I've got these types of products I would like to donate. And yeah, and then reach out to those specific organizations before just showing up with a bunch of stuff, because yeah. Donating helped me more than it helped them. I know. It's it feels good to like declutter. But then also, if it goes to people, like when I donated all my stuff to the kids, it was the kids' daycare, and there was something else I donated a bunch of stuff to. And they were kind of floored because it was a lot of stuff. But I was like, dudes, this is helping me so much because I need to get rid of this stuff. And it was like, have fun with it, you know, have a blast, have fun cutting up all that paper. uh, yeah, there's a lot of good ideas. Just checked Honeybee. They only have full sets, not separate. Honestly, I'm not sure if anyone, because that's why I ended up ordering my Empress magnetic plates directly from Anna Griffin. But it would be nice if other places could carry just that magnetic plate. Because yeah, for everyone outside of the US, the shipping is disgusting. Ugh. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I flattened all the panels. I'm not even going to use them all, but turning that dude off. And then I need to set this somewhere so it can just cool down. We'll put it over here. Carefully, because it's hot. Same with my... Actually, I'm putting this back where it belongs, because this is something I'll lose. The carrier sheet, it will grow legs. So putting it right back where it actually needs to be. Okay, so there's all... This is the entire Bohemian... Let's put it in rainbow order. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, this like purple, and brown. So this is the Bohemian Regal's colors. All just, again, slapped onto the cardstock. So we've got, that's Carnation, which is a very like pinky red. Love, which is probably what I'm going to use today. So we got Carnation. This one's Pumpkin. Self-explanatory. Probably not going to use that color. Yeah. Saffron, which is, and this one I think I did 2 layers with this one, and I had like, I was picking up some of the, obviously these are like Lindy's Magicals or Nouveau shimmer powders stuck to the hardboard. Like, it doesn't matter, but I just thought it was funny when I was doing that, because I was like, oh, because yeah, these colors don't have anything extra in them. So that was Saffron. And then this one is the Verdigris. Very pretty. Or was that one? No, this is Verdigris. This was Bluegrass, right? This was the one I just did. This is Bluegrass. I always get these two mixed up. Even though, yeah, this one's more green. This one's Bluegrass that we did on camera. Planning on using that one. This one's Verdigris. So very, like, teal sort of a color. Probably going to use that one too. And then we've got Navy, which, oh, the Navy was nice. Navy. And then the Purple Rain that we did. And then last but not least, this was Sepia. So that was the Bohemian Regal set. And then I was mucking around and I did a bit with the, but I'm not going to use them, from the Tuscany Earth, which have not been flattened. But yeah, I had panels upon panels of colors to die cut. I just cut, if they're big sheets, I cut them in half again. So these were 9 by 12 sheets. I cut them in half and cut them in half again. So all these are like 6 by 4.5. Whatever works for you. You can cut them smaller. Depends on what you want to do. And yeah, this was the most easy, the easiest for me. I think I'm going to use these 4. No, I think I want to use these 4. I was in more of the cool tones. Yeah, we'll see. You never know. I might dive into these, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Let me get all my dingers out of the way. Okay, so there's all of the colors. Unrelated question. Anyone match the Ranger alcohol inks to distress line colors? You would have to Google that. Someone might have, but the Ranger's alcohol inks none of them were made to match the distress line, but there might be someone out there who has. You would just need to Google it to see. Yeah. Okay, so we got those. And then what I'm going to use is, and this isn't all the dies, this is only some of them. This is the Aurora Blooms die. This die set's large from Simon Says Sam. I've done a video or 2 using this when it came out. It was last year or the year before. Everything I'm using today is oldie but goodie favorites. I'm not using any new stuff because I just dug through my stash. And so I pulled out just a few of the dies from this set because, again, there's a ton. And I'm going to die cut some of these panels with these wafer dies. And I'm going to have a ton of leftover, and like I'm going to save it all and I'll use it on a future project. So we're just gonna, we'll do that one. And then we'll do this one. Let's do this darker color. And we'll do this one with the lighter color. Might do a couple of these. In fact, I know I will. Let's do a couple of these. So we'll just do a couple of those. This piece. Maybe I'll do the brown for that one. There we go. Because this will be the like center for that flower. That's what I want to do with it. So we'll do that for that. That I already did from that. The little leafy pieces I'll do with this green. And same thing I'll probably do. And this is how I normally, like when I post my like edited videos and I always say like, oh, I did all my die cutting like ahead of time. This is what I do. I just make little piles of my die cut pieces, just like so. And actually, I'll pull in this green. This is from the other set. This is from the Tuscany Earth set. This was olive green. And that just so my greenery has different shades. Because you don't want all your greenery, especially if it's different shapes, to be the same color. Because that's boring. So let's do that green. Just to mix it up a bit. There we go. Let's start with this and then see what happens. We'll see what happens. So now we just gotta die cut all these pieces. So stick them all on her. Like so. Oh, I probably want to do more than one. Yeah, we'll see. I might want to do more than one of that one. Okay. Doodly doo. There we go. There we go. And then we just gotta die cut this. There we go. Okay. I have a set of extra long plates I use. Oh yeah, I have the big plates for the Empress as well. They're enormous. And I only pull, actually I can show them. I have them underneath all this stuff. The big plates are huge. It's like the size of my arm. They're enormous. So I use these when I'm doing like big, if I was doing this entire die set, I would probably use, and I've got the, you know, the whole sandwich, but they're enormous. They're twice the size of, see it's twice the size. So I don't use the big plates very often because they take, for me, I have to really pay attention when this is running through because I have the swivel thinger. This will like knock into things and I literally won't be able to get it through if I'm not very much paying attention. But yeah, the big plates are nice when you're doing either big wafer dies or just, you know, 5 million die cuts. It comes in handy. Okay, back to what I was doing. How do you store the leftover scraps of paper? Now they're all flattened out, I'm just going to stick them in like a little stamp storage sleeve and I'll keep them with the watercolors. That's what I'll do. So we've got the little flower center. And then this one, like, I don't know if you can see, like it impresses some detail. A little hard to see with the like texture of the watercolor paper. Like, how cute is that? So got that. Oh, the flower centers. That's what I needed. I knew I was missing something. Let's do the flower centers with, I think I'll just do a scrap of like matte gold cardstock. This is why I keep all the scraps. So let's, come here, get out of the package. That'll work. Okay. There we go. So this is why you keep all the little scrap bits. So we'll just use that. Stick that there. Got more little flower bits. that little flower bit. Oh, these are going to be cute. So we're going to die cut that one again. That one we're done. This one, so cute. Love. So we got that one. We'll do this one. We got this one. Just got our little die cut bits. Die cut that one again. And then I'm also going to want some couple extras to put on the inside of the card. So while I'm doing this die cutting, I will also die cut. Let's die cut that one. Die cut that one again. Okay, well, we'll just run this through. That's a huge, yeah, it is a huge die set. Again, I'm literally using about maybe a quarter of the dies. Although the other video I did when this first came out, I used, I think, almost all of the dies and shoved everything onto a card. Why not? Do what you want. Okay. Oh, I was like, where did it go? Yep. Okay. So now we've got some greenery bits. I got that one. I want some more of this color. So we'll just do a couple more. Yeah, we'll do a couple more of this. Doop, doop. Okay, we'll save that one. This is going to go on the inside. Maybe one more. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh, and I want to do one more green one for the inside as well. Because then we can do a little cluster. There we go. So we got that. And then we'll also need to do a few extras. Get off there. And then these ones I die cut from gold glitter paper from Simon Says Stamp. Where'd that little gold piece go? I already lost it. Oh, there it is. Found it. So we'll do some more little pieces. Just like that. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Now we can run these guys through like that. Don't want to lose that. Don't want to lose that. Put these out of the way so I'm not getting confused with all the pieces. Okay. And again, get off of there. Don't want to. Ooh. There you went, just flying. Okay. So that one. Cut another little couple centers here just to have them. Stick all those there, that there, that there. This should be enough. This should be enough. Okay. So one more. Yeah, should be good. One more. And then all these guys. I'm going to stick back. Deal with that later. Okay. So, last but not least, and same with these little wafer dies. Stick them back in the packaging so that I don't lose little tiny wafer dies. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we got those. Then I need one cutting plate. And I pulled out a couple. I have like, so I found a wafer die. I did. I found him. Okay, I got a couple of embossing folders. I am going to... Where's the black cardstock? I am going to emboss. And then we'll start a poll, because you guys can decide which one we use, and I'll save the other one for a different project. This is Simon Says Stamps black cardstock, which is pretty heavyweight. So I'm going to lightly mist this cardstock with water. Just the water helps, you can kind of see it, soften the paper fibers. Even though both of these folders are not super deep, you know, because some designs, especially with the Simon 3D embossing folders, some of the designs like really press the cardstock and it'll crack. These ones technically won't, but again, this cardstock is heavy. So with Simon Says Stamps 3D embossing folders and the Anna Griffin Empress machine, you just need one cutting plate and then you run it through. So we've got one background and I'll show it in a second because again, when it's black on screen, it just looks like a black nothing. But give me a sec. So we did that one, and then I'm gonna, because I couldn't make up my mind before I went live, so I was like, we'll do a poll. Okay. Here we go. Thank you, Lisa. That's really sweet. Thank you. Yeah. That's like the highest of compliments in my opinion. Especially to this chaotic crafter. Some days I'm like, does anyone even understand what the heck I'm doing? I'm all over the place. I'm psychotic. Okay. Oh, these are fun. Okay. Herba Derby. I'm gonna... Did it work? Let's see. Oh, I did a poll. Okay. I've never done a poll before, so this is a first time for me. So, this one is the Dibble tile embossing folder. It's hard to, and of course when it's black on black, but this is going to make everything else pop. So there's a method to the mess. So this is the Dibble tile. That's the back of it actually, which is really fun. Both sides are fun. It's all textured. And then this one is the basket weave. So just very black on black, but yeah. It's hard to show on camera when it's black. This cardstock is like black cardstock, you know? But yeah, you guys get to choose. And we'll leave it open for a little bit and we'll see which one, which it looks like the basket weave's going to win out. But yeah, they're fun. I like them both.
I just like the word Dibble.
I know. The name of it's funny. I wonder if I like... There we go. If I use my flashlight, you can see it better. Because again, there you go. See the detail? Look at that detail. And that's the back. And then if I flip it over. So this is the Dibble tile. Look at that detail. I love it. I love it. And then yeah, the basket weave. Just fun. Aren't they? They're both, either one, it honestly doesn't matter, but I just thought I'd let you guys choose. And it looks like the basket weave is still winning. So I'm fine with that. Because I'll just save this for the next project. Or an upcoming project. Who knows? Like, yeah. Yeah, basket weave is still winning. We'll give it another minute. I need to let these, they're still a little bit soft from the, like spraying it with water. So I'm just going to let them dry because I'm going to trim down. The card base is also going to be black. We're doing black on black because it's going to make the flowers just pop, which is the whole point. So, yeah, basket weave is winning still. So, I am a-okay with either one. So we got that. Yep. Okay. We will close the poll. Wait, can I? Yeah, it was still pretty close. Dibble tile was 43%. Basket weave was 57%. 117 votes. Thanks, guys.
Go with the basket.
Yep. Yep. Okay. We'll end that poll. That was fun. So we're going with the basket weave. There we go. I want to change my vote. It's all good. I know I've used this one, the Dibble tile one. I've used it in other videos, and I'll use this. I'm not going to get rid of it. So they're both fabulous. So I'm going to just trim this down just a little bit, just cause. So I'm just going to trim it down to like 4 by 5 1/4. It doesn't really matter with this because, like I said, I'm going to put this on a black card base, so it's not going to show up as much. Especially during the live, you're not going to see the difference. Like, here's the card, like card base, same thing. See? Oh, you're not seeing much. But in real life, and hopefully when I do the photos at the end, you'll be able to see, because I'm going to pop this up, of course, with some foam tape. We'll get to it. One thing at a time. Okay. So we got the background. And then we got our flowers. So I was going to do like that. Just going to kind of do it like this was the plan. Kind of do that. And then I can tuck in and see the colors just pop on the black. So we'll do that. And I can tuck like that in like that. I'll tuck that one in. And then we'll be popping in a couple of these little dudes for a little extra. And then the main sentiment, because I want to leave space for it because it's big, I'm using and I already die cut this, we just haven't stacked it together, is, here we go. The CZ Design, like I said, I'm using all oldie but goodies. I'm using the CZ Design U wafer die set and the stamp set. So we're gonna, and of course I did ankle glitter, so that's gonna go like right there. That's the plan. That's the plan. But we gotta adhere these dudes first. So let's start adhering some things. Let's unclog my glue first because I know it's clogged. It always is.
The clogging of the glue.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I don't really care. No matter what I do, my glues always clog. It doesn't help that I never put the lid on, ever. Like, I don't care. Don't care. Okay, let's stack the sentiment first and then we'll assemble our flowers. So, I die cut layers from same black cardstock. Same. And we're gonna stack those together to build up dimension as we do. And then the top layer, CZ stamps and dies are the best. Yep. Kathy Zielski is a gem of a human being. And if y'all didn't watch her live on Wednesday, yeah, it was her one. She always goes live on Wednesdays at noon. And her live on Wednesday, she did a fundraiser for the American Red Cross for the fires in LA. We raised, it was nearly $7,000. She had set a modest little goal of like $500, like for the live, to raise money. And everyone came in clutch and just donated their little hearts out. And final toll, I think it was like $6,700 or something like that. It was amazing. And this is why I say card makers are the best people ever. It's just like Mr. Rogers used to say, whenever there's something bad happening, look for the helpers. So, yeah. CZ is a gem. I loves her. And I am her #1 fan. And anyone who wants to argue with me can fight me. Because I am the queen of her fan club. There we go. donated directly to family. GoFundMe. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of other good ones. World Central Kitchen is another amazing organization. And then yes, there are several like independent like GoFundMe's, things like that. And for those that can donate, it's wonderful. For those that can't, even just spreading the word, I think is wonderful. You know, because yeah, there's all sorts of ways to help. Okay. So I adhered the she said 60. Yeah, it was almost 6,800 basically. It was really close. Like it was basically 6,800. That was raised from that live, which was just so impressive. So I adhered the gold glitter, 2 layers cardstock, and then the outline I had die cut from vellum. There we go. And our hearts go out to you, Barb, to everyone out there. It is devastating. Like, absolutely devastating. And I cannot imagine, ever. Like, cannot imagine. Okay. And then Kathy Z has very nice things to say about Amy too. I know, it shocks me. It doesn't really, because again, Kathy Z is a gem, but it's still, I'm like tickled pink every time. She's like, shout out to AmyR, and I'm like, that's me. So, yeah, she's the best. And I'm pretty positive I think all of my audience already follows her. And if you don't, you should, because seriously, go subscribe to her channel. She makes great cards. And yeah, her Wednesday lives, they're a hoot. They're so fun. Like, she's one of the reasons I wanted to start doing live streams, because I was having so much fun watching hers. I was like, these are fun. I want to do it too. So I adhered. I'm like all over the place. So I adhered the layers together. And then, as I like to do, my final layer, I adhered to the back of the vellum. This is going to pop up that vellum just a smidge, just a hair, so that the vellum floats. Plus, it makes it easier to just add adhesive on the back here instead of tracing the vellum. That said, a sentiment like this is very easy. You know, it's nice and chunky. So you're not like trying to fit teeny bits of glue. It's like, stick some glue on, you're good. But I still like to put a layer behind the vellum just to pop up that. It makes the vellum float just that little bit. And if you want it to float more, do more layers. It's personal preference. So we got that sentiment. And then got my little die cuts, and we'll just stick these together for the moment. I need to do a heat emboss sentiment to like finish it, because I don't want the card to just be like you. Although we could cut off the U and just be like yo, you know. Oh, that's heartbreaking, Barb. But yeah, that it's heartbreaking. Like, I'm really annoyed with a lot of the coverage where it's like, so-and-so celebrity. Like, oh, and people are like, Hollywood doesn't need our money. And it's like, the vast majority of the people affected by all of this are regular, normal people that don't have bajillions of dollars, you know? It's, again, it's like, gotta kind of tune out the noise and pay attention to the real people. And yeah, it's... the whole thing is just heartbreaking. Okay, I don't really like how that... I want to move him around. There. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, yeah. Can't wait for Kathy's hubby to do another voiceover. I still laugh. Yes. Yeah, that video, I cackled the entire time. I made Chris watch it. Yeah. I was like, this is how all the voiceovers should be. It's so good. Those two have just a fun relationship. He doesn't pay attention to card making. That's what works for them. Like, it is what it is. So I found it amusing, because it's like, if I had Chris do voiceover, he knows what I'm doing.
I don't know the brands very well.
Yeah, well, you don't know the brands, but that was one of the things way back in the beginning when we were first dating. And then he was like, oh, is that a Misty? And I'm like, how the hell do you know how do you know that word? And he admitted he watched my videos. Like, he was watching all my little card videos. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. So, you know. But yeah, and then with him helping on my Sunday lives to keep out the trolls and moderate and things, he's picked up a lot. We never did do another
Christmas special?
yeah, Christmas special. We did that. We didn't do that this last year. We did one the year before where he on live. He sat beside me and we made he made his first card on a live, which that was fun.
We should do a helping hands episode where you have your hands tied behind your back.
Oh hell!
On your hands.
Where you're my hands? Yeah. Maybe.
That would be funny.
Just thinking about though, I'm starting to like
see anything.
Oh so God, it would be awful.
It'd be so funny.
Maybe. I make no promises. I make no promises. We might. It would have if I would have to plan so much ahead of time. And people have asked since we did that video where you made a card with me on live. Yeah, it's not my whole setup. The whole thing was planned out because I never expected to share the camera, or space with anyone. So there's not really literally space for a second person. Hoping down the road to change that, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I just haven't had the time to figure it out. Anyway, I'm assembling all my little flowers, adding little flower centers. There we go. He'd burn the garage down with a heat tool. Yeah. I don't think there'd be, no heat embossing involved. That's dangerous. And even though I say that jokingly, I mean that. Like, it just gives me chills when makers are like, I never unplug my heat tool. I'm like, dude, seriously? Like, nope. I unplug mine every day. Soon as I'm done working in here, I unplug my heat tool. I don't leave anything plugged in like that because all it takes is like one crazy surge, which we actually had one of those this past week. That was interesting. Or if you have like pets, that sort of thing. Last thing you need is your cat knocking over your heat tool and that thing getting burnt. Like, nope. Oh yeah. Oh, back in the day, in my old house, I had all my IKEA Calyx units, and I didn't let my kid's cat in there. Yeah. But she would sneak in there. And I had those inserts for the Calyx, the kind that we have in the entryway, the cloth sorts, and I would pull those out, and they would just be lined with cat because she would manage to get in there, and then she would get into those. She would pull it out and like rub herself.
Gotta get her smelling it.
Oh yeah. I swear she did it on purpose. She always did. She was such a bum, but yeah. Every time I would go to like pull something out, and there's just cat hair just lining those bins. I was like, you little bum. Pets. It's what they like to do. Little goobers. Okay. So we got that. Now we need to get our flowers actually on here. I unplug it. Oh yeah. And even those that use like a surge protector, and even when you hit that switch, it's not off. And that applies to any appliances technically, but I don't unplug every appliance. But with like my heat tools, things like that, even a surge protector, it's not off. If it is plugged into an outlet, there's still power, traveling through that. And something like a heat tool, this thing gets up to a bajillion degrees. This it doesn't take much, even though mine, like the switch, is a little recessed. But if this was next to anything flammable, it wouldn't take long to start a fire. Goodness. Oh, scares the heck out of me. I'm like paranoid about that stuff. Okay. Back to what I was doing. So yeah, unplug your tools.
See a video of somebody starting a paper fire with that particular heat tool that you were using. They were actually using it to start an actual campfire kind of thing.
Using a heat tool to start a campfire? That doesn't surprise me, but it totally can. Like the cardstock, just heat embossing. If you're heat embossing for too long, you can burn your cardstock. That's paper flammable. Everything in here is flammable. So unplug your heat tool, people. Just okay. What was I doing? I was arranging florals. I had a good arrangement going before I distracted myself. We're just gonna do it. we're just going to adhere all the little pieces. Just tuck them in. Okay. Oh yeah, the heat tool especially, like more than anything else, you know, it just, that is one tool that it gives me the heebie-jeebies the way some people are just, oh, I melted this because I was leaving my heat tool to, like, I was letting it warm up for 5 solid minutes, and I was like, it needs seconds. Even some of the cheaper ones, but like ones like this is an industrial, like this thing strips paint. That's what it's meant for, is to strip paint, you know. But it's like when us makers, content creators are saying like, oh, we let it heat up, seconds. And that's why I literally put, because I have asbestos hands, I don't recommend anyone do this, but I'm like, because I can tell, you know. And even for me, I can't keep it on there, but it's like, oh, it's hot. Seconds, not minutes. Just no. And it doesn't need to keep running in between heat embossing either, because I can't. And this tip, unbelievably hot. Like just freaks me out so much. People, everyone's just stressing me out and giving me a hard. Not you guys, most of you seem to get it, or at least you know, you indulge my paranoia. But I've literally had like some of the horror stories, and people have started fires. You know, I remember years ago, someone like ended up having a fire in their craft room because of their heat tool, because it got knocked over. I think it got knocked over, and it, you know, by a pet or something. And that was years ago, and that has stuck with me. Okay, let me keep doing my thing. This one, I think I'm gonna tuck in here. We're gonna tuck this one here. Occasion. I remember you telling me that, Christy. She's melted cheese with hers. It works.
Man, that sounds like a great idea.
Oh, now you're giving Chris ideas. Stop it. Stop it. No.
You ever, like, when you were like a kid, just put like a craft single on like a piece of bread?
No, I never did that with the craft singles. Like, if I want craft singles, I like them just in a grilled cheese. Just a proper grilled cheese, please and thank you.
It was kind of like an open grilled cheese.
Basically, but no. Like, the only thing I'd be tempted is to like roast a marshmallow with a heat tool or something if I was really that desperate. Roast a little marshmallow, make a s'more. You could literally roast a marshmallow with that thing. Oh yeah.
Like the stupid thing that started on fire.
Exactly. Mine too. That's why I haven't done it. My heat tool is for embossing and drying things only. Because if I start, you know, messing around doing food stuff with it, oh good lord. Well, good, Debbie. If my paranoia helps even one person to just remember to start unplugging your heat tool. Oh, where's my little, once you make a habit of it, you know, you make a habit of it. Every time you're done your little crafty session and you just unplug your heat tool, it's great. You know, I'm not talking about it right now. Yeah, I'm like paranoid about it, but in real life, I don't, because I just unplug, go on about my day. You know, it is habit. That, and same with it's rare when I use like my hair straightener or a curling iron. Oh, that one too, because, you know, even though I have some like fancy ones that shut off, and most do shut off after a certain amount of time, but even then it's like, no, I unplug those. I do not leave them plugged in. More so because there's nothing scarier than thinking it's, you know, off, and then you go to grab it and the thing is 5 million degrees. Not fun. Okay, I'm gluing on my little doomahickeys. Oh, Jen, a jar of fluff, marshmallow fluff. It literally comes in a jar. Well, I've honestly, I've never bought it. I'm scared of that stuff, and I don't mean scared as in like, oh, but scared as in I might love it too much. You know, I can see myself like sitting in the pantry, like eating it by the spoonful. Like, but yeah, you can get jars of marshmallow fluff, and it's just, you can scoop it right out and use it in baking or just eat it directly.
On a
You
very
know?
sad day.
Yeah, on a very sad day. It's a sad food, you know. When you sometimes you just need that.
A little bit of Nutella, marshmallow fluff.
Oh,
and
Nutella and
cracker.
marshmallow. That's why I don't have that in the house. Cause yeah, Nutella, marshmallow fluff, and a graham cracker sounds really good right now. Oh, you guys. Now I want.
I'm very curious if anybody's actually had like a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich.
Oh, I bet. I've seen people do marshmallow fluff on a sandwich with all kinds of.
It's so weird.
People are.
Fluffernutters are fantastic. Oh my god.
See?
I actually had one.
See? Now Chris is losing his mind. That's funny. Okay. I'm trying to. You guys are funny.
Oh yeah, so many people have done it. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I can't look at it, but like it just feels wrong to me.
Look, a lot of our snacks are crimes against nature, and we do it anyway. Like, who cares? But yeah, I refuse. I don't think I've ever bought a jar of marshmallow fluff in my life, which is crazy, I know. But I
poked them at the grocery store.
I know, I've looked at them in the store and I kind of, and then I don't know. I feel like for me personally, I feel like it's like a Pandora's box. And yeah, I'll be sitting in the pantry at 2 a.m, just, yeah, because I love marshmallow. Like, love it so much. I need therapy, and my therapy needs therapy. Okay. Continuing to glue as we're just. For those that are new, I warned you all. Welcome to the chaos. You know, and it always turns to snacks, food and snacks. All pretty much almost every single one of my lives.
Marshmallow fluff and cream cheese. So many creative
Maybe
people in chat.
it's that lady that used those videos. Everyone's so creative. She lives in my head rent free. When people come up with weird combinations of things, everyone's so creative. That's what I've seen people do. You take marshmallow fluff and, like, if you're making, say, hot chocolate, and then you edge you rim the glass with it, and then you can, like, dip it in crushed candy. Like, if you really want to give yourself a heart, or like chocolate sprinkles, that kind of stuff. I've seen that too. Again, this is why I avoid it, because, oh my goodness.
Yeah, we should avoid the marshmallow fluff.
Yeah, we're gonna
yeah.
Chris will end up just. He and I'll be duking it out at 2 a.m. in the pantry. Like, no, trying to eat the last of it, just scoop it out of the jar.
I would probably just pour Rice Krispies in it and sort of have like a pretend Rice Krispie treat.
Oh, good lord! Considering Rice Krispie squares are the easiest thing in the world to make, I need to make those. Maybe I'll make them later today. I think we have marshmallows. We would just have to check the pantry. Yeah, we'll have to check the pantry. Okay, back to the card at hand. Now that I've got everything adhered, I was going to add splatter, because that's what we do here. Like a marshmallow fluff margarita. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Oh, I've seen people do, like, boozy drinks with that stuff, and I watch them, and then I think, and then I'm like, I just back away slowly, because anyway. Okay, where is I want to add silver, copper. Here we go. So the metallics set, there are 4. There's gold, silver, copper. And bronze. Yeah, I was like, okay. So the metallic set of these liquid, there's gold, bronze, copper, silver. I'm obviously going to use the gold again. And these are more just a shimmer, not a sparkle. And these ones, unlike the other ones, you can just use as is, like how I showed at the beginning, painting, doing whatever. These, I recommend just giving them a good shake. I honestly don't know if they need to be shaken, but it's habit. Anything sort of metallic or with shimmer in it, I would rather just shake it up to make sure you got all of the good bits. There we go. There we go. Oh, I didn't make this. One of my lovely subscribers sent me this. It's a magnet. Love it. I got that. Gosh, that was, well, after all the drama erupted. So yeah, we got it. We got a sign. So we got the gold. And we're gonna add. Don't need much. Just put. That should be good. Just put a little bit on my palette, and then we're just gonna splatter that onto the background. Just like so.
Gold and black goes so well together.
I know. I love gold and black. Gold, white, and black. I have an entire playlist on YouTube of like dozens of videos I've done over the years because gold and black go together so well. And really, considering how this is coming together, and the fact that we've been yapping and going on about snacks and, you know, heat tools and marshmallow fluff, it's technically a very simple card. But the wow factors, the colors, and the pop up with the wafer dyes and the texture background, love. So we'll be doing that. But I need to finish the sentiment. So I want to send. How do I want to? I'm going to put love you. Because this is technically, I'm including this is my Halloween. Not that time of year. Valentine series. So I'm going to use this little one. So we're going to let that splatter dry. Set that there. I was going to use my Misty for this, but for this little one, I don't think we need it. Oop, my comments went weird. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, burp, I got that. And then, like salt and pepper. For a second, I was like, are you talking about like wings? That's another thing. Oh, wings. Yum. Salt and pepper wings.
Lemon pepper's better.
Lemon pepper wings are really good too. Anyway, but yeah. Black and gold goes together like salt and pepper. I know that's what you meant. That's where my brain went. I was like, ooh, more snacks. Piece of black cardstock. Anti-static powder tool. Just to keep the embossing powder from clinging to anything other than what I stamp. Clear embossing ink. There we go. Halloween is a really lovely time of year for crafting. Oh, I can't wait to start the Halloween series for this year. But that ain't coming till...
Let's have a summer first.
Yeah, that won't be coming till late summer. So we'll stamp that with clear embossing ink. And then coat that with gold. Ooh, there's a delivery. Can you go get it? Just because it's like 50 below, not quite 50 below, like at least 30 below at this point.
It was minus 36 with the wind chill.
Minus 36 with the wind chill. That's fun. Blah. Anyway, detail gold embossing powder. And then, you know if Simon has added any more goodies to the sales section? I don't think so. I've been checking. I check it regularly, and then I always share it when I spot, you know, good deals. And there hasn't been anything, but I will post as soon as I spot some good deals, because that's what I like to do. There you go. Got that? There we go. Did I? Yep. Okay.
I'll just put this
Yeah, just
with
prop
the
it up
rest
there.
of the
I'll
garbage.
knock it off. Okay, that's been heat embossed, and then I take my microfiber cloth and a little bit of elbow grease to buff away the anti-static powder. Just like that. And I'm not worried about the little extra bits because I'm going to die cut this. Save that cardstock for another project. This I'm going to die cut with one of my sentiment label wafer dies. So we'll just line that up. My head's going to get in the way for a second. There we go. Got that lined up. And then I can run that through and die cut that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's cold here. It's cold. Like it is cold. And it gets pretty cold here in the garage. Like if my space heater isn't on, like I have a big garage heater that does a decent job. But if my space heater when it shuts off, you can literally physically feel the cold start to creep in when it's this cold. It's not fun. Hence the unpaid intern being wrapped in a heated blanket because he's further away from the heater than I am, and it gets cold in here. Yep. Okay, so we die cut that little dude, and then there we go. I'm gonna trim this off because, as I've mentioned in other videos, I technically can't cut a straight line to save my life, even though when I tried to prove it in one of my lives, I cut a perfectly straight line, eyeballing it. So, whatever. But yeah, so we got that little guy because he's gonna go on here. So that's gonna go on there. And then him I'm going to pop up. Actually, I might just, yeah. Okay. We're going to adhere this into place. Just like so. Okay. So we'll do that. And then get that centered. And then this guy, I'm going to pop my little magnet on there, just hold him in place. And then I'm just going to use the leftover rest of this strip to stack this guy up. And for this, I can just use my scissors because those pieces are going behind this. Okay. I won't complain about being 8 degrees here with temps like that. Yeah, I know. I always kind of laugh. And I get a kick out of it. I don't know, because that's part of it too. Like, especially back in the day, I remember people like, they would literally email me and they're like, how do you breathe when it's that cold? Like, do your cars start? And it's like, yeah, they start. We still go on about our day. Even when it hits minus 50. You know, things might take a little longer. You got to let your car warm, and it needs to be plugged in. Because it's law here. You need to have a block heater in your vehicle to keep the engine warm because it gets cold. It gets cold. So you plug it in overnight to keep the block heater warm, to keep the engine, warm enough to start. And if it's minus 50, you got to let it run for 20 minutes to just get everything warm enough. And yeah, we go about our day. It just sucks when it gets stupid cold like this. It's not fun.
It isn't.
So yeah. And yeah, we don't stay, like, we bundle up good, but you don't stay outside for very long when it's this cold. But yeah. I don't know. It's what we got to deal with.
You just get used to it after 40 years.
Yeah, you do. It's just been like this forever. Have you lost any craft supplies due to the cold? I do not let this garage go below freezing. Not even close. In fact, I keep it at a comfortable temperature at all times because of all my supplies in here. Yep. Like, I do not recommend it. I have literally had things delivered to me frozen solid. Like inks, ink refills, etc., that have shown up frozen like a rock. Those, I let them sit and come to room temperature. Like, I don't touch it. I don't unwrap nothing. I let it just sit and come to room temperature, but I don't let them freeze again. Like, if you let, like, and some things can literally, because, you know, liquids expand. Water expands when it freezes. So I would be, you know, I've been lucky so far that, oh, I can't say that. No, I had actually, did have one of my liquid watercolors had burst, because it had frozen solid and it pushed the lid right off. But it was stupid cold when it got delivered. But yeah, I don't let this garage go too cold. One, I'm in here 7 days a week, so there's no time for it to get cold. But I would not allow all my stuff. That would be heartbreaking and not fun to try and replace.
We've also never had like an outage that has dropped the temperature in the house to a critical level or anything like that. So
What happens when you're parked at Costco for 2 hours? We get in and out when it's this cold. If we needed to go to Costco today, we would just be like, we'd let the vehicle warm up. By the time we get there, you go straight in, get your groceries, get out. We can do it in under an hour. If I'm really like on a mission, and if I'm on a mission, woe be unto the people that use their carts to block the aisle where they're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you since 3 p.m. Ah, and then they block the entire bloody aisle. And that's when I get mouthy. I'm an introvert and I don't like it, but do not get in my way when I'm on a mission at Costco. Seriously, I will. I turn full, you know, that person that I won't say, but I'm just like, excuse me. It's like, meh, you know. But yeah, we get in and out and the vehicle starts and we're good. We're good. And then we drive home. And then we have to unload in the freezing cold and it's so fun.
also, we do our best to avoid it.
Yeah.
Whenever possible.
Chris, we usually time our trips to like stock up and not have to go anywhere. Like, yeah. Might have to run to the grocery store later today, but that's again quick in and out. Don't worry about it. And sometimes if we know it's going to be super good, we leave our vehicle running because, you know, we got a key fob. We can lock it, leave it locked, but it stays running. When it's 50 below, yeah, that's usually what a lot of people do. You just leave it running. You run in, grab what you need, come back out 5 minutes later, and then we go on about our day. Okay, so we got that. I want it over here. I think I'll just adhere it just like that. Just right above it. Just a little love you. Oh, I can zoom in a bit. I'm like way... There we go. There we go. Is everybody laughing at me? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I wasn't paying attention to the chat very much, but yeah. Okay, so we got my little sentiment that I stacked up with like a couple extra layers of cardstock. And then we'll just adhere him. And then he can stay just like that. Stay. Making sure he's straight. There we go. So then we got that. Woo! And then I need a piece of white cardstock, which... this will work. Because my card base is going to be, like I said, black cardstock. So I could leave... Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the inside black. I'll use a gel pen. No, I lied. Because then the sentiment I have to hear... No, this is easier. This is easier. I'm keeping it easy. So there's a piece of white cardstock to line the inside of the card with. So I'll cut this to 4 by 5 1/4 because my card base is standard A2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, standard American A2. I watched a very interesting video on paper sizes and how they're determined in Europe and how it was a standardized system. And then as usual, the North Americans were like, no, and completely messed it up. It makes so much more sense mathematically in Europe. Like the paper sizes make sense. It works. And then America's just like, no, why would we use common sense and math? I don't know. Anyway, I need an ink color to go with this because I was going to stamp, you make the world a kinder place. So this part I was going to stamp in black, but this I want to stamp in a color. I got to pick a color. That'll work. We'll go with that color. We'll use that one. Okay. So then, so we got that. And then, oh, I'm like all over the place. Sounds like an American. It is. It's true. It's true. If you guys Google it, it's just interesting. Because, and I used to, like, when people used to, because I used to get a lot of comments, and I still do, when people are like, what size was this? What size was this? And because I was like, A2, A2, A2. It wasn't until, I'm not sure when, like it was years ago, that I realized like those mean something different. American A2 means something completely different than A2, A4, etc. in Europe. Like, and yeah, when you see that all lined out and like the measurements and what it means on the European side of paper manufacturing, again, it makes perfect sense. And then America's like, we got letter and legal and document side and it's so, yep. So yeah, fun times. There we go. So I got my Misty for this, my white cardstock. We're gonna stamp, because my plan, like that probably, and we're going like that. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna stamp this on the inside, and we're gonna stick, there we go, go in your home. So we're gonna ink this up with Surf Positively Saturated ink. There we go. And the stamp is being annoying, but I can always ink it up a second time. Not a big deal. Yeah, good enough. It'll smooth out as it dries. I'm not too worried about it. So got that. A2 for us is 16.5 inches by 23.4. Yeah, A2 in Europe is enormous. Very large paper size. But then it all makes sense, you know? Like, the next size is twice that big. The other one is like half that size, whereas in the US and Canada follows suit with paper. Even though Canada's on the metric system, but ours is actually bastardized. We're technically on the metric system, but then we'll do a lot of things in feet and inches, like especially things like height. When someone says I am 173 centimeters, I'm like, good for you. What does that mean? So, yeah. And same with like weight, like especially, you're at the doctor's office and they weigh us in kilograms. And they're like, do you want to convert that into pounds? And I'm like, no, thank you. Although I can do that myself. It's like, I can do that in my head. But yeah, it's just funny. All the different metrics of things. Okay. Oh, let's put that one. There we go. Has anyone seen Nate Bargatze? It's Bargatze, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Anyway, SNL skit where he's George Washington telling the soldiers they are fighting the British for freedom to use measurement systems that don't make sense. It's we'll have to look that up. We watched his most recent comedy special. Got a kick out of it. That Nate Bargatze.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
He is funny. We'll have to look it up because I might have seen it, but I don't remember. So we'll have to look it up. I like him. He amuses me. Okay.
He is funny. I like him.
Yep. Okay, so we got that. Then we'll do that. Yeah, that works. That works. And then we'll stamp this with. And yes, Jen, logic. You expect us all to use logic. I mean, yeah. Especially nowadays, it sucks because considering like paper manufacturing everything, it would make all of our lives so much more simpler. Is considering we are a global economy, that if it was a globalized system of measurements, but no, it's not. Anyway. Yeah, no, he's funny. We enjoyed his comedy special. I got a kick out of that. Okay. We got our little panel stamped with our sentiment. And then I got my little extra bits just to finish everything off. You know, because there's still space to write something, as I like to do. So we're gonna adhere this to the inside of the card. Just like so. There we go. And then just like that. Yep. Okay. So there's the inside, and then we're gonna add. Or do I want to put it down here? Oh, I kind of liked it right there. I liked it right there. I preferred that, so that's what we're gonna do. Got a glue goober. Gotta get rid of that. There we go. Okay. Gonna adhere this a little bit. Doop. There. And then, do you ever use foam tape to insert that? Never. I try to keep the insides pretty, fairly simple, but also fairly non-dimensional for the most part, because you don't want it, like, it just makes the card weird. And if you were to use foam tape on the insert, then you would have to add an extra like score line to create like that gap to make space. You know what I mean? Because otherwise the card literally wouldn't be able to close if there was, you think of like foam tape in there. Although I did that one card during Halloween, and the little critter I put on the inside or whatever had googly eyes, but it was fine. Although people were freaking out and they were like, how's the card gonna close? I'm like, it'll be fine. But yeah, I just adhere the little inserts straight with just straight up glue. We're good to go. The insides are bonuses. They're just gravy. You gotta have something on the inside, in my opinion. There we go. To add that little die cut. Americans were the bratty youngest kid. Canada was better behaved, so they only had slight passive-aggressive rebellion against the Empire, pretty much.
Yeah.
Funny thing is Canada has a reputation of being very like laid back, you know.
Until we get mad.
Yeah, until we get mad. Then it's like you don't want to mess with Canadians.
Then we have a Geneva Convention because of Canadians.
Yeah, the Geneva Convention was because of Canada, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Got that. Do I want this last little one? Do I want to tuck it in there? Not really. No. That's good. We got that. That's the inside, which is basically a clean and simple card front. So he's good. And then this guy was like, I was gonna pop him up with foam tape, but maybe I won't. You know, I don't think it needs it. Yeah, I don't think it needs foam tape. I'm gonna adhere this directly. And then I'm gonna add some bling. I was gonna use Big Mama foam tape, but I think I built up enough dimension with the embossing folder and the die cuts and stacking the sentiment, etc. There we go. Or play it until you get us mad, or put a hockey stick in our hands. Yeah, basically the same thing. Exactly. Yep.
Pull us away from our warm fires and you put us in a place we don't want to be. Yep. To get upset about it.
Yeah. Truth. There we go. Okay. Got that. And then I need some bling. Where's the bling? Where did it go? I think it's right here. Yep. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of bling. There we go. So we got that. And then while I'm adding bling, the unpaid intern can pick a winner for this card. There we go. There we go. So I've got some little gold sequins, which I'm also going to add as like additional flower centers, because why not? I think that'll be cute. Yeah, I'm going to tuck some of those in as little extra flower centers. Okay, try that again. There we go. There we go. So if we stick a bit of glue on there. That was a lot of glue. Oh well. Oh well. And then we can kind of tuck this one like that. Like that. And I'm managing to get glue all over the place like a crazy person. There we go. And then this one, we'll just do a little one like this. And boop. And stick a little bit of glue on that. Stick that one. Oh, get in your home. There you go. Okay, now I want to add just a few more. Tuck one in there. Where's my little embellishment one? This will make it easier. Okay. Tuck one in there. Like that. I'll stick one over here. There we go. That guy needs to be flipped over. Stick him right there. And we'll stick one right there. And I need a little one. Get over here. I'll stick one right there. Yep. Right there. I'm not following any rules or rhyme or reason. I am just sticking them wherever I think they're going to look cute. Because yeah, as usual, go big or go home. Who cares? There we go. Okay. Stick that in there. Stick that back in the little container, because otherwise I'll knock that over. And that, my friends, is the finished card, which does have a fair bit of texture with that basket weave. And then bling and color. This was fun. And there's the inside. So yeah, that is the finished card. Now, see if I can press a button, and then I have to do. There we go. There we go. Okay, who's we have? Do you have a winner?
We do.
We has a winner.
The winner today is Rana S from Alturas, California.
Rana, like with an R.
Starting with a U.
Urana.
Urana, yeah.
That's an interesting name. In California. Urana. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If not, just, phonetically put it out for me, because sometimes, especially names, I am horrible with names more often than not. And yeah, like I said in the intro, live stream card winners since like November. I have a stack of them. I'm not mailing anything out until end of January is my goal, only because of the postal strike that had happened that is technically now over. But they're still catching up. It's a mess. So I'm just refusing to add to their workload. Plus, I'm just worried that if I show up with a stack of cards that they just will end up getting lost in the system.
depends which
You know,
worker is
well, it's
there.
not even just the worker, like just this system itself. When everything is so backed up, like I've been getting, you know, packages, things. I got the Simon's January card kit that I should have got well over a month ago. I just got it this week, and I did a video yesterday that I posted yesterday using it. But yeah, they're getting there slowly but surely. So yeah, and now I'm like, don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
Don't trip on things.
No tripping.
Did you unplug that heated blankie?
No, but it's turned
Okay.
off. I'll just wave to everybody and then.
There
I
you
don't
go.
understand cameras very well. So. The whole mirror thing really
The
throws
post
me
lady
off
will
every
give you the
time.
evil eye again. Yeah, that's part of it too. Like, that's also why I'm avoiding going to the post office. Although I need to go, I need to buy a bunch of I need a lot of postage stamps. So I'm gonna make a trip there soon. But actual card mailing, end of the month is kind of what I'm aiming for. And then unless I hear, like I'm hoping that maybe Canada Post will just announce when they're caught up, but I think I'm hoping for too much. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and the unpaid intern who's now done. Like, his job is done. He's out of here. He's gone. And I don't blame him. It gets cold. The corner where he sits, it's not that far from me, but it gets cold in here. Like, if I turned my heater off, I'd be freezing in here. So I don't blame him for packing up when his job's over. So, yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me. Stay tuned. I posted like 5 videos. I don't even know how many videos I did last week. Plus I went live, didn't I? Did I do a bonus live last week, or was that the previous week? I don't even remember. I think it was the week before. I was going to do a bonus live this past week, but life has been a bit bonkers as always. I might do a bonus live this coming week. I'm not sure yet what day or time. I have no idea. It just depends on other things because I have other deadlines I need to deal with. Life, work, dentist appointments. Yay, so fun. Love that for me. Buy him a heater. We can only run so many heaters. That is also a major fire hazard. And yeah, I'm in my garage. I am already drawing a significant amount of power with the camera equipment and the lighting, space heater, etc. So yeah, the heated blanket works for him, but he's not gonna like stay in here indefinitely while I'm yapping. So it's all good. It's all good. So anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me. I will have my the photo and the social medias and all the things for this. That'll get done afterwards. And then yeah, I posted several videos last week. I know I did a lot. I have been working like a crazy person, but I always work like a crazy person, so that's nothing new. And yeah, I have several videos coming this week too, because that's just what I do. So there'll be all kinds of stuff. I read Project Hail Mary. Thanks to you. Ooh, you enjoyed it? Yes, Elise. Project Hail Mary. Such a good book. It was. I nearly cried when I was done reading it, only because I was done reading it. Like, that was one of the most enjoyable reads I've had in a long time. Yeah, Project Hail Mary. Such a good book. Love it. I read that during a trip. When I went to LA in the summer. I read that on the plane and then during and then on the way back. And it was on the way back that I finished reading it. And I sat in the plane with my book and I was almost in tears. I was like, it's over. Wah. It was a good book. And yeah, I gave it to Chris to read. He ripped right through it too and really enjoyed it. And yeah, highly recommend Project Hail Mary. Very, very good book. And yeah, they're making a movie out of it, of course. I can't remember if they announced who's starring in it. I think it's all online. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very curious to see how they interpret a lot of it in a movie. It's going to be very interesting. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to move that heated blanket to my space, to my plugins, so that I can warm myself up a little bit more and get all the rest of the social media stuff done for this. And Yeah, Sundays we go live, 2 p.m. Central. And then if I do a bonus one, I will try to give everyone a heads up. We'll just see. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to like announce or housekeeping. I don't think there's anything. Is it Ryan Gosling? Yeah, I could see him being that character. Yeah. Ryan Gosling's a good actor. He's a really good actor. I get a kick out of him. Yeah, I could see him doing that. It would work. I think it would work. But yeah, appreciate you all. The tech worked. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? So hopefully it continues to work, because that is one of my biggest struggles doing this as a job, is fighting with tech 24/7. So I got a mess to clean up. I have stuff absolutely everywhere. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!